Reynolds from the Los Angeles Times. I've just crossed the state line a few miles back, and we're at the southern end of Oregon on the beginning of a big road trip. The next week we're going to go up the coast of Oregon, up the coast of Washington, jog around the Puget Sound, and end up at the Canadian border. Anything could happen. So let's get in the car, get a little advice, and get rolling.
Brookings is awesome. It's just crabbing, rocks are gorgeous here.
If you're into hiking, camping, doing family outdoors kind of activities.
I like to go up the Rogue River on a mailboat ride.
Newport, Lincoln City, all super interesting stuff there.
You squeeze on them, that's one way to check if they're nice and alive for you.
If you do like the big city, you're gonna have a hard time here.
Some of the worst waitresses also serve the greatest food here.
The coast, the fishermen, the community, it's the shops, the seafood restaurants, it's beautiful.
Or to avoid driving too much.
Yeah, well, you have to cover ground somehow. I put in about 1,100 miles on this trip, beginning with a first-class sunset at Harris Beach State Park. Of course, Oregon is logging country, but on the south coast it's more fun to mark the miles in dunes, lighthouses, and dramatic bluffs.
They began construction here in 1892, and the house you're in right now is actually the very first structure that was built here. There was a head lighthouse keeper who made $850 a year, a first assistant who made $650, and a second assistant who made $550 a year. Not such a bad salary for 1894, but when the last keeper left in 1963, he was still making $850 a year. I stayed in a hotel with a literary theme and ended up in the Edgar Allan Poe room with a blade dangling overhead.
Today we went up to Manhattan Beach, went skimboarding, and came back here and did some fishing.
What'd you catch?
Nothing.
Once you've hit the northern cities of Cannon Beach, Seaside, and Astoria, that's about it for Oregon, except for one really cool bridge, the Astoria Megler Bridge over the Columbia River.
It's incredibly high up, and then you come down and it's pretty windy on it. You come down and you're basically right on the water for a good 4 or 5K. And there's seagulls floating along. And of course you look either side and you can see for miles.
That's Washington ahead.